Today's hashtag relationship topic, we're going to delve into the dynamics of the most common problem that men say that they have with women. Out of fairness to men, I have to express what men have shared with me about their common issue with the woman with whom they are trying to have or develop a meaningful relationship with. I have to be fair, sister, so I'm going to talk to you about this, but I want you to know that it's not an attack on women. I will not allow that. I will not allow men to attack women. I won't allow women to attack men. What we're going to do, we're going to set up some rules here, some parameters, and we're going to go into this thing with open minds and a desire to move closer to one another. So what I am about to say to you, sister, I'm saying it out of love, and I'm saying it respectfully with love and with hopes that the outcomes will be favorable for you and your would-be mate. Men have sounded off to me about their most common issue with the woman with whom they would like to share their lives with, and they're saying, sister, that you complain too much. They are saying that either you will undoubtedly point out something about him that you don't like. It's always something less than positive. Doesn't matter what it is. We don't have to get into the specifics because that's not the point of this conversation. What I want to do is to help you, sister, translate what it is that you're trying to say to your man that actually sounds like a complaint. It sounds like you are unappreciative. It sounds like you're ungrateful. What I try to do is listen to you and consider the context of where your concern is coming from. And then I try to explain to the brothers that it's not necessarily that you are complaining, sister. It is, however, in your nature to want things to be better for yourself and your mate. Now that comes from a very innocent place, and I always like to refer back to the most popular couple of all times, Adam and Eve. She was basically told that if she did something that she didn't have any business doing in the first place, that things would be better. That was the hook. And so she bought the hook, and we know what the outcome was. It was not favorable, but it was an attempt for Eve to make things better for herself and Adam. If you look at it from another perspective, Eve was in paradise. She had everything. There was nothing kept from her that she didn't need. But the brothers are saying that, sister, you're always talking about something that you either don't have, that you're missing, that you haven't done, or something that needs to be done. I try to explain to the brothers in a translation that women have an inherent or an innate to-do list that, of course, is endless. And I don't think that's a secret. So let's establish a couple of parameters, if you will, of how we will approach this very complex subject. It's not a matter of complaint or being unappreciative or anything like that. It's actually what motivates and or demotivates your man, sister. And before I can get into what motivates him to want to do more in your behalf, I want to show you how to talk to him that would inspire him to go out of his way for you. Now, I don't know a woman who don't want more of the good stuff from her man. So if you just hang in here with me. That is my objective. You have to know how to talk to your man in order to motivate him and inspire him to want to do more of those things that would benefit your relationship with him. But before I get to that, I have to share with you how easily you demotivate him. You, for whatever reason, you destroy his efforts with what sounds like complaints. Your complaints are the number one killer of your man's motivation or desire to please you. I say complaints because that's how it sounds to us. Every time you either complain or point out something that's wrong or negative or that's missing or something that needs to be done or hasn't been done, men are very task oriented, and doing a good job is of top priority to real men. But if you want to reduce his desire to be more productive, all you have to do is continue in the way that you have gone and let enough time go by without commending him or recognizing his efforts, no matter how small. If you let enough time go by without acknowledging some degree of gratitude or appreciation or admiration for the work that he does put in, and if you add a complaint to that formula, then you will essentially diminish the efforts that he presently tries to put into your relationship, and you will all but devour, dismantle, destroy any future efforts. You would have basically grinded him down, which ultimately grinds your relationship to a screeching halt. Let me bring it to you this way, sister. If we all know about ungrateful children. If you've ever been around an ungrateful child, does that ungrateful child inspire you to want to do more for that child, or because of the blatant lack of gratitude and appreciation that that child emotes, does that cause you to just go ahead and do as little as possible until you're doing the bare minimum? It's like if you were on your job for 10 years, sister, and around year 5, you notice that the people in your workplace don't seem to appreciate your effort, your work ethic, your skill sets. As a matter of fact, they tend to complain more than they compliment you on the good job that you're trying to do. Eventually, you become less inspired and less motivated, and at some point, you will start looking for another job, another career opportunity where your skill sets, your talents, your creativity, and your efforts, your work ethic would be seen as more valuable, appreciated, and recognized. Now, you might, sister, think that when you say, I love you, that your man hears what you're saying. Let me submit to you that I love you to a man coming from his woman means very little, if anything at all. You love your pair of shoes. You love this dress you saw on sale. You love this particular restaurant. And so you're going to have to come up with another way to separate how you feel about your man from what you say you feel about your favorite movie that you also love. Don't think that I love you means the same thing to us as it means to you. Because as soon as you add a complaint behind the I love you, well, you've just erased what little effect the I love you has. I want you to say, I admire you. Men want to be admired. We can take a leave the love. You tell him, I admire you, and then tell him why you admire him. Tell him you appreciate him, and then tell him why you appreciate him. You see, admiration and appreciation functions on the same energy, as an apology. You have to hook the apology up to something in order for it to have the effect of sincerity. I apologize to you because, X, Y, Z. And so when you say I admire you, you're saying I admire you because of this. I admire you because of that. I appreciate you because of this and that. Now, if you do this, sister, if you start practicing this and get into the habit of doing this, then it becomes a little easier to point out things or to discover things that you can commend him on. I'm not going to ask you to stop complaining. That's a little unrealistic. But I will give you a ratio, a percentage to think about. Instead of trying to ask you to stop complaining, I would ask you to do more complimenting. Compliment him more. And make your ratio somewhere around 51 to 49%. 51% compliments and 49% complaints or dissatisfaction, and you have yourself a deal, my beloved sister. In part 2, I want to talk to you guys about how certain issues, whether they're your issues personally, sister, or issues surrounding you, that may cause him to say, yes, I love you, but I don't know if I'm ready for this type of commitment. That will be in part 2 of every man's most common issue with women. And remember, I'm only here to help, because I want for you guys what I want for myself. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to live a life of longevity and one of fulfillment. But above all these things combined, I wish upon you many, many blessings. I am looking forward to your response. And as always, my name is Jay Jackson.